I am so sick of hearing. Let me talk to the pundits, okay? The pundits that get paid millions to do this, where we're taking time out of our free time. We get paid $0 to do this. Let me
Zero.
educate you all, okay? Because you can't on one hand keep telling Tennessee fans, well, look at what you were before Josh Heupel. Look at the years of dysfunction. And on the other hand, tell me how great Kurt Signetti and Indiana are, and how great of a story that is, and
Yep.
how NIL has changed football. Those two things can't exist. Okay, Tennessee is a historic blue blood. So the ingredients are already in place. The ingredients, the location, the funding, everything's in place already. Okay? And you have the added factor of, well, now you can lessen the gap with maybe the Alabamas and the Ohio States of the world, because look at what Indiana's doing with NIL and hitting the portal, and what great coaching can change a program immediately. Dude, they're about to go undefeated this season in Kurt Signetti's second year, in his first year at Indiana, Blake. We're talking about a
Indiana.
dead football program. He took them to the playoffs year freaking one, dude. Are you joking me? And if it's year two, I don't care. It's literally, because I forgot, was it is the first year last year? It doesn't matter. He immediately turned around Indiana as a program. So on one
Yeah.
hand, the pundits, the Josh Pates of the world, are saying, and I have a lot of respect for Pate, are saying, well, look at what Tennessee was before Heupel, and look what he's delivered you to now. But also tell me how NIL in the current state of college football has opened up a landscape for a team like Indiana, and a legendary. Listen, dude, this is the difference in coaching, man. And I like Heupel, and I think he's a tier 2 coach, but Kirk Snetti is a tier 1 coach. He's a guy that completely changes a program, and you can tell immediately that's a guy. You look at Dan Lanning, that's a guy. That's a guy that's going to completely change a program overnight. No matter what the circumstances are, because you can tell me about all the scholarship limits and all the limitations Tennessee had. It doesn't compare to Indiana and what Kurt Signetti had to dig out of the dumpster, dude. Nobody was coming to those games. It was a complete ghost town. And with a harder schedule this year, Blake, he has absolutely dominated, are running through teams. It's not even close, man. It's not even close. And it's the intangibles. And this is what gets back to the Vols. I don't think Heupel is bringing the intangibles to coaching. I don't think he's able to motivate the team when it's hard to motivate them. Okay. Kurt Signetti in press conferences are sitting there when they're in press conferences, Blake, and he learned this from Saban. They're talking to their players. They're not talking. They don't give a rat's ass about talking to the media, Blake. They don't care. They literally couldn't care less about talking to the media. When they're in a press conference, their goal is to preach to their players. Okay. And what has Signetti said during this BS Big Ten schedule every week? He's telling me how great UCLA is. They're a 3-0 team, and how great that football team is. And Maryland, oh man, Maryland is a tough opponent. This opponent, we cannot sleep on Maryland. And he doesn't care about saying that to the media. He's saying, hey, players, listen to me right now on a public stage. You cannot sleep on these teams. You have to learn to win as a favorite, because that's when it gets tough. You're going to be motivated against Oregon, Blake. Everyone's going to be motivated against Oregon. You're going to be motivated at Oregon. You're not going to be motivated against a crappy UCLA team at home. You're not. It's UCLA.
Yep.
Nobody takes that program seriously. But what does he do? He motivates his players through the media, and they hear that, and they take it and they go whip UCLA by 60 something. That's the difference, man. That is the difference. Because if you compare Tennessee's talent level to Mississippi State's, it's night and freaking day. Yet what happened in that game, Blake? It was an overtime thriller, because Heupel isn't bringing these intangibles to the table, in my opinion, right now, that's motivating his teams in games that it's hard to get motivated for.
And again, to be clear, we're not saying right now that it's time to make a change with Heupel. What we're saying is that, like the chat talked about earlier, And like we're talking about right now, you have to make a change. You have to get better. Just like good teams get better, great teams get better.
Yeah.
A coach has to get better, and otherwise you're going to get left in the dust. And you're absolutely right, Austin, about the intangibles with Heupel. We need it to be there, man. We need it to be there because Ryan said it in the chat earlier. I said it earlier. We're not happy with 10 wins. We want championships because this is Tennessee. Let me educate the younger folks, okay? Football existed prior to 2015, okay? Football existed prior to 2010, 2020. Name the year, okay? Football existed prior to that. And prior to that, Tennessee was, as you said, Austin, a blue blood program, top winningest program. And so I'm so glad you railed on the media and you look, folks, if that doesn't deserve a like on this video, if that doesn't deserve a subscription on this channel, I don't know what does. Okay, give us a subscribe for my brother's perfect rant. Okay, but I'm gonna add to it, Austin, because the media wanted to say when we were going through the dark years as Vols fans, as a Vol program, no one wants this job. This is a tough job. This is are you kidding me? Austin, to your point about Indiana, stadium being empty, whatever, and then all of a sudden they come roar. All of a sudden the fans are suddenly back when they start winning, right? And when you look at these other programs, all of a sudden these fan bases start wearing their shirts again once they start winning. Austin, Tennessee fans, you look. My wife is from Western North Carolina. Okay, I'm going to talk about her. She when she started, excuse me, I'm killing my voice because so my wife is from Western North Carolina. When she came over here, she was like, man, everyone has these Tennessee flags up. I've never seen anything like this. She's like, this is crazy. I see Tennessee flags everywhere. Austin, people wore big orange 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013.
Through the dark ages, man.
We didn't stop wearing the big orange. Okay.
Yep.
We didn't stop wearing the power T. And this university didn't stop having resources and all of the intangibles about a football program during those years. Okay. So don't tell me that it isn't a dream job for any given football coach. This program and tennis, there's nothing like it in college sports, Austin. All these other programs have their traditions. All these other programs, have history and all this. Yes. But dude, we have the history and we have Tennessee fans are crazy, brother. Okay.
Yes.
We are crazy passionate.
The most passionate in the country, Blake.
There is nothing else like the passion of Rocky Top, brother. Okay.
Nothing.
And so yeah, you got the whole point in saying all this is that it's not, we don't need to just sit here and be good little Vols fans and be happy with 10 wins.
Nope.
Look at what you were. No, what we were was winning national championships and having the greatest of all time quarterback, defensive lineman and Reggie White, safety and Eric Berry, quarterback being Peyton Manning. Are you kidding me, Austin? This Tennessee program is national championships, SEC championships
are the goal.
The whole nine.
That's the goal. Every year, that should be the goal.
And the objective truth is we are playing much better than we would have with Nico. The pundits and media need to understand that this season is better because of Joey, not worse.
Yes, that's a great point.
And so they need to understand that the result, we might be hitting the Vegas win total exactly, at 8 or 9 wins, but we would have been potentially 6 or 7 wins, if not worse, with Nico.
Yeah, I agree with that, Blake. And you make a great point. And again, that's going to be a fun off-season / season review discussion, because there's going to be a lot of people that are, high level guys. Like we just cover the Vols. So we cover the storylines very closely. We covered Nico's performance very closely last year, and we've covered Joey's performance this year very closely. What the high level people don't understand, they're going to say things like, "Well, they lost their starting quarterback in the spring." Thank God we lost our starting quarterback in
Yeah,
the spring, Blake, because
exactly.
had we not, and the Tony V thing happened, and this like, dude, we'd be in a bad spot. We'd be down here on Vol Talk, man. It would be really, really bad. And the kind of the everything school mantra that we've been, celebrating the last few years, we'd be talking about how it's all crumbling. I mean, we really
Yeah.
would, dude. Like that's how bad this season would have been with Nico under center.